Hey guys, Brady here, and I just saw the Ready Player One. So Ready Player One stars um Ty whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know. I think he's from like some TV show, and it's about he plays a character named Wade Watts. He's the future is now all through like VR and stuff. Um, he lives in this place called the Stash. I think it's in like Ohio or something, and so well, the future's kind of shitty. So there's this guy named Mr. Holiday who invented like this Easter hunt thing, and well, not Easter hunt, but pretty much a hunt. Um, and he died while completing it, and now whoever finds all these three keys, because he like put these three keys in like random places of the world that are, and whoever finds the keys wins the Oasis and is now the owner of it, the newfound owner. And so yeah, that's this movie. And Ben Mendelsohn is the corporate dick of this movie. People compare him a lot to EA. I know EA. I don't know too much about them though, and I played some of their games. But yeah, they said he's pretty much the human embodiment of EA games. Um, and yeah, I really enjoyed this movie. Um, this is Spielberg. This is Spielberg back in his form. You know, when he did movies like Indiana Jones, all four of them, Avengers and the Avengers of Tintin, Jurassic Park, Minority Report, stuff like that. This is like not a throwback, but a return to form. Like I said, uh, the kind of movies he used to do before he did movies like Schindler's List and Lincoln, Bridge of Spies, The Post. I mean, Spielberg has done a lot of like dramatic historical movies the past 6 years, almost 6 years, 5.5 years, and it's great to see that he's doing action centric type movies again. Um, and this one's like another great movie from Spielberg. Um, I'm the kind of person that is well, I am a huge Spielberg fan. I love a lot of his movies. Some I like less than others. Like BFG was good. I wouldn't say it was like terrible, but it's not one of my favorite movies of his. Um, I thought Hook was okay. Um, but yeah, Always was okay as well. I didn't like Always that much. Um, but this, like, if you were like, oh come on Spielberg, make more adventure sci-fi ish type movies, and stop making these historical dramas, you'll love this movie. Um, it's everything you liked about Spielberg back in like the '80s and stuff like that. It's kind of and then score to the soundtrack to this movie, not the '80s pop music they used, but the soundtrack made by Alan Silvestri sounded like the '80s. It sounded like a great throwback '80s sound, like score, and I like that a lot. You don't really hear scores like this in movies nowadays, and it was great to hear like a '80s sounding score for a movie that's all about pop '80s pop culture. Um, Although this is not the movie's fault, but it sucks that Spielberg wasn't able to um, have the rights to Star Wars, like for some Star Wars characters to appear in this movie. I think they mentioned Star Wars once. They say something about Star Wars once, but they don't have like Darth Vader or something just pop up just for a brief second. Disney wouldn't allow them, which kind of is stupid because Kathleen Kennedy, who is a longtime friend of Spielberg, who has produced like a lot of his movies, is the head of Lucasfilm. You think she would have thrown him a bone and be like, "Hey, you could use some of our Star Wars characters," but nope. And seeing how his friend George Lucas made Star Wars, it makes sense that they had allowed him to put Star Wars in this movie, but they didn't. But whatever. Um, and yeah, and it's really weird to see a Spielberg movie use '80s pop music. I mean, I love me my some '80s pop music. It just I was like, oh wow, like his movies. You don't really hear um like songs like people singing in the movies. Like you don't hear like pop songs or whatever in his movies, and it was just kind of it was interesting to hear um, songs like this in a Spielberg movie. So yeah, that was cool. Um, Trying to think. I thought Ben Mendelsohn's character in this movie, he was really good. I um I think his character was a lot better in this movie than he was in Rogue One. He had like a lot more emotion in this movie than I thought he did in Rogue One. Rogue One, he was just kind of like um kind of like a he was like a not the head of the Empire, but he was like pretty much Vader's um not trainee, whatever. He was the not besides Vader, he was like the main villain of the movie of Rogue One, and it was. I mean, he was great in Rogue One. I just thought that his character in this was a lot better, and he had a little bit more emotion. Simon Pegg was in this. If I had an issue with the movie, be Simon Pegg. It's not that he was bad in this movie; it's that he did an American accent, and it took me a while to get used to that it wasn't Simon Pegg's original British voice. He was using an American accent, a good American accent, but it just kind of took me out a little bit. Took a while to get used to. That and also his friend H. I like this character. His voice was, I don't know. Like I was kind of annoyed with his voice. Like when I saw his character in the trailer, I did not think his voice would sound like that. But whatever. Um, other than those things, um, I really enjoyed this movie. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the love interest, played by Olivia Cooke, I believe. She was good in this movie. Um, yeah, and one more thing before I give out the score, the movie, although it's about like nostalgia, it's all about the nostalgia, the pop culture references, it's about '80s and all that stuff. I didn't think the movie, um, like what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't think the movie relied on the pop culture references as much as people said said it was going to, and I liked it. I thought they gave the right amount of fan service, or not fan service, but references as much as I thought they gave as much as they could, and I loved most of the references. There were some references I didn't get, like there's some anime references, video game references. I'm not a huge video game or anime person, but there was a lot of movie references in here as well. And Spielberg didn't want to use any of his movies in this movie, but he did use the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, so that's it. That's all we got. And the King Kong scene was great. It's great to see King Kong on the screen again. But yeah, so I like how they didn't use '80s nostalgia as a crutch. They didn't take as much advantage as I guess they could have. But I enjoy but that's not a negative for me. I thought they did well with the pop culture references and all that stuff, and they yeah, I got to like half the book. I didn't finish it. I heard this movie's completely different from the book. People who have read the book, I think I've heard some people that read the book hate the movie, but people who did not read the book love the movie. But I mean, it's no shocker that a movie based on a book is nothing like the book. I mean, if you read the book Jaws, which is another movie made by Spielberg, that movie did not follow the book at all. There was a lot of stuff they took out. I mean, a lot of stuff. Got through half the book and got bored of it because there's just so many stupid things going on in the book, like a dinner party and just irrelevant shit. I was like, the movie's better. But yeah, I hope someday I finish Ready Player One, the book, and yeah, I'm gonna give Ready Player One 5 stars out of 5. This is probably my favorite movie of the year. It was my most anticipated movie of the year because it's Spielberg. If it's Spielberg, it's probably going to be my top one every anticipated year list. Um, yeah. Um, so yeah, this is like another great movie from Spielberg. Go see it this as soon as you can.